Okay, where should this light go? This side? Yeah, let's put it on that side. Which stuffed animal can we move to make that work? Okay. Hi, Anthony. How's it going? Oh, there, that helps. How was your week in healthcare? Should have brushed my hair. It was good. Yeah, not too stressful. That's good. Well, my week has been a little tougher than I was expecting. Lack of sleep, pain, uh, just feeling really weak. Um, but I've gotten some coloring done, which I'm very excited about. Maybe I'll show more of my wall. Yeah, the first week of surgery, I think after surgery is supposed to be a tough one. So I think we're moving in the right direction. Susan says they are beautiful. Saw the mermaid. I was so happy about that mermaid, Susan. Oh my God. I don't even know how this happened, but her hair ended up being all multicolored and what I love about coloring, which I didn't realize since I was a kid. Anthony says 4 more weeks, the cast comes off. Yeah, I actually get a new cast on Thursday, and then that'll be the cast I wear and for 4 more weeks. Yeah. Um, but I don't know if you guys do a lot of coloring, but I forgot that when you're coloring, if you're watching a movie or if you're listening to a podcast or you're talking to somebody at the same time, when you go and look at that piece of art later, exactly what you were watching like comes to mind and like exactly what you were saying in the conversation comes to mind. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just like looking at each one. I have 4 done now. And each one I remember like how I was feeling and how my leg was feeling and what I was thinking about or what I was listening to. And it's sort of like an emotional journey, like my own emotional chart of how I'm feeling, without it needing to be like in a diary or something. So I think it's cool. And plus I'm decorating. Um, Anthony says Susan says I do adult coloring. Yeah, exactly. It's like you forget. Uh, I don't know. I spent a lot of years not coloring, and now that I'm back into it, I'm like, oh, this is what we're missing. Anthony says, do whatever works to make the time go by. Yeah. And I have been having so much trouble sleeping. So I think I calculated I've gotten 14 hours of sleep in the last like 3 or 4 nights. It's like 2 or 3 hours a night, on average, sometimes like up to 4 or 5 hours a night. And so the days are really, really long when you're when you're awake that much of the day. The days are really long. So I will show you how I've been redecorating in here so that's what I have to look at now instead of just gray wall, which is what it was before. So that is a big lifestyle improvement. And I always say this, and it's always shocks me how much it's true, that the environment around you has like a massive impact on your own mental health. So like being in just a room with just like bare gray walls and like not really any furniture and you just feel like kind of crazy. And then now that I've got my coloring and I've got my paintings and something pretty to look at, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I feel better now. Like I can feel myself kind of calm down. Um, Anthony says the new cast will be more comfy. Okay. Oh, will it? Really? It'll be more because this one is like getting kind of loose actually, and it's flippin' heavy. Um, Susan says because of pain I can't sleep. Sometimes it's because of pain, sometimes like I'm not a good sleeper at the best of times, so like I'm my body's like under stress and my system is like, let's keep watch. Let's keep watch all night just to, just in case you need help. Or like I didn't have my weighted blanket with me, or like things that tend to make a big difference in my sleep. Like I just haven't yeah. So Anthony says a little over the counter melatonin may help you sleep. I think I tried melatonin years and years ago, and I didn't find it made much of a difference, but maybe I would try it again. Susan says, "Yeah, I'm a night person." Yeah, I know you are, Susan. Yeah. Yeah, so it's just like I find that and I think it's also just being in bed all day. Like and then it's nighttime and then it's like go to bed, go to sleep, and it's like I'm just still here though. Whereas I find like when I'm up and I'm roller skating and I'm exercising and I'm walking and I'm out in the world, I'm getting fresh air and sunshine, and then I can go to bed on time and have my bath and have all that like kind of flow. But now that I'm just like on on the bed, in the bed, 24/7, my nighttime sleep is getting a bit tricky. So fingers crossed tonight is better, but how are you guys doing? How are you doing, Susan? Anthony, did you get up to anything interesting this week? Do you have any adventures? Get anywhere exciting, different? Now I'm just like everyone that's like out in the world on two legs. I'm like, "Where'd you go? What'd you do? Like, what were the people like? Like, what is outside like?" Like, I haven't been outside in 2 weeks. Um Anthony says your cast is loose because swelling in your leg has reduced. Oh, that's okay. That makes sense. That's smart. Yeah, because it was very swollen before, and I was like, my cast is too tight. And the new cast will be less bulky. Oh, thank God. Okay. Does anyone know when I won't have to have the leg elevated all the time? Like, at what point will I be able to like sit in a wheelchair and like have it be down and not have it hurt? Is that Is that before 6 weeks? 'Cause, it's pretty difficult to have to elevate it all the time. Anthony says, "Just ran around saving lives, no big deal." Yeah, that's awesome. Um, Anthony, are you a nurse? I forget your exact healthcare role. I forget exactly what it is. Susan says, "I'm doing good. Trying to focus. There are many things to do, fun things and regular things." Ooh, let's hear about some fun things, Susan. Oh my God, are you a paramedic, Anthony? Oh, those paramedics saved my butt last week or the week before or whenever it was. And I thank them profusely. Oh my God, so you literally are running around saving lives, like for 12 hours. Do paramedics do 12-hour shifts like nurses do? Um, I mean, you must have a million stories, Anthony. If you're a paramedic, that's that sounds like a very high octane, stressful, like eventful kind of job. 14 hours? Jeepers. That does not sound safe for you to be like 14. Holy smokes. That's too long. You're going to lose like your reaction time and stuff. 14, then what do you do the rest of the day? You're just recovering from working that much. Is that because of like staffing issues or is that normal, Anthony? Um, yeah, because Christmas is coming, so like whatever fun stuff you guys are doing, like let me live vicariously through you. The funnest thing I've done is coloring and like picking out what earrings I'm gonna wear for this live. Like that. And I guess redecorating. Um, but I still it's funny, I'm still finding things to be grateful for. That, like, my leg does not hurt as much as it did at the beginning, and, um, that, like, I get to be at home and not in a hospital with all the beeping. Oh my god, hospitals have so much beeping. Um, so it's just it's like, yeah, it's hard and recovering is hard, but, like, I feel so lucky all the time. Like, this is the ideal scenario for me to recover, and I couldn't be more grateful. Susan says, "Diamond painting, lots of glittery dots." What is diamond painting? People keep inventing awesome stuff, and, like, I'm just like, "I didn't even know that existed. Please explain." Like, they just keep coming up with new awesome stuff. Is it glitter? Is it is it jewels? Is it Susan says, "I wish you'd get a Meta headset." I don't even know what that is. What is a Meta headset? So many fun things to do in it. Exercise puzzle. What are you talking about? Puzzles, mini golf, exercise, and you can do it with people from all over like me. What are you saying? What is it, like a helmet? Is it VR? I've never even heard of this. I'm like, I can't keep up. They just keep inventing new stuff. Uh, Anthony says you can't just leave your patient at a hospital. The hospital has to take your patient if there are no oh. Oh, if there are no beds in emergency, you get stuck there and can't go home, like, until the patient is admitted to emerge and accepted into the hospital. That is I don't punch a clock. Oh, why? Okay. Okay. So if there's, like, a big lineup in Emerge and your patient has to wait 3 hours or something, Anthony, you have to then stand there for 3 hours? I mean, that sounds stressful and boring at the same time, and also annoying. Oh my god. So, like, what happens if you're like, "Hey, I'll meet my girlfriend for dinner at 6 because I get off at 5," and then you don't get off till, like, 8:30, like, you just missed dinner? Wade's here. Hi, Wade. Wade says, "Hello, I hope you are feeling better." I am feeling better, Wade. Thank you so much. I am in less pain than I was earlier this week, and I am very grateful for it. Once you hit a certain pain level, you're like, "Oh, so it could be like that all the time?" Note to self, like, I will appreciate the lower pain days so much more now. So, Anthony, you just cancel your plans? That's you just have to be like, "Doesn't look like I'm getting out of here." That is so stressful. You don't make any plans on a work day. That's what Anthony said. Okay. Because it could you just don't know, like, when you're gonna be that would drive me nuts to not know, like, when I'm done and when I'm on and when I'm off. Like, because at least nurses in shift work, like, they're, like, down 12 hours, boom, gone. But yeah, I also heard paramedics have, like, a higher burnout rate because it's so stressful. Do you find that too, Anthony? Susan says, "I'll have to show you later on a Zoom." Yes, VR. So, I've never even had a VR headset helmet on. Like, I've never even stuck my face in one. Um, is that, like, a thing? Does everybody has VR headsets now? I don't think I don't think I didn't even know you could buy that. Is it Susan, do you mean Meta like Facebook Meta? Like the Meta company made their own VR? Susan says, "I love it. I exercise in it every day." What? Okay, now I wanna know. Anthony says, "Yes, lots of paramedics burn out." Oh. Yeah, so how many years have you been doing it, Anthony? Cheryl's here. Hi, Cheryl. How's it going? Welcome in. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us. Wade, how was your week? Thank you for all your comments on my videos. I super appreciate it. Um, yeah, Wade, how are you doing? How's your week? Holy smokes. Anthony says over 20 years as a paramedic. That's got to be some kind of record. I thought they burn out after like 5 to 7 years. Susan says, wow, Anthony, thank you for your service. Oh, gee. Yeah, for sure. Like over 20, and you're still in the field, Anthony. Is that because you like it, or would you rather have like a desk? Is there such a thing as a desk paramedic? I don't know what the next level up. I grew up with a girl whose dad was a paramedic, and we all thought he was a doctor because we didn't know any doctors. So we were like paramedics, pretty much the same thing. But he said the same thing, that the burnout rate is like a problem in the industry. So how have you done that, Anthony? How do you mentally cope with that kind of job for over 20 years? You must have some amazing like meditation, mindfulness. Um I mean, wait, if I could go anywhere, I guess I'd be on crutches. I am on this beautiful walker. That is what is helping me get to where I go, but I only go from here to the bathroom and back. So my world has has gotten a little bit smaller. And that's why I'm like, what are you guys doing? What's outside like? What are the people like? What's having legs like? Like, um Anthony says every day is a different day. Okay, so that's how you keep doing it, because it's like always an adventure and it's always like novel and you never know what you're gonna get. Does that make it easier or something? Um, I do have crutches, Wade. Um, I think I might have to rent a wheelchair. That's what I'm kind of thinking of as soon as I get my cast off. If they let me put my leg down, I might be able to go outside in a wheelchair. Susan says sometimes places offer medical equipment to loan. Yes, I've called and I'm waiting for them to call me back to rent it. Anthony says you'll walk much better with the new cast. You won't have to elevate. Okay, if I don't have to elevate as much, Anthony, that will make my life so much easier, because it is tough to constantly just have it up. Like there's not a lot of places you can go where that works. Susan says, or a rolling walker with a seat or to knee on. Yeah, there's those knee scooters. I have a prescription for a knee scooter. Um, but I don't really have anywhere that I need to scoot to in this moment. I'm just grateful to get to the bathroom. So yeah, once I'm in scooting range, then yeah, maybe I'll be scooting around. But I don't it's snow, right? It's snowy winter. Like I don't know. Maybe I'll be one of those people that's like, take me to the mall, and then I'll just like scoot around just to like be outside and see the people. I'm not even outside, I'm inside, but you know what I mean? I'd be outside of this room. That would be fun. Um yeah, so 6 weeks is January 13th and it's December 14th. So I am looking at oh no, January 14th. That's true, because I technically didn't get the cast till the next day. So, yeah, I've got 4 more weeks of this, and it's it's a bit of a grind, I'm not gonna lie. Anthony says you can get a wheelchair that can be adjusted to that can be adjusted to raise your leg while you get around? What? They've invented that? So it's a wheelchair that, like, holds your leg up? Man, I don't know anything. I am just constantly shocked at all the stuff they've invented. What would prop the leg up? I've never seen a wheelchair like that. I just don't think I know enough about this. Cheryl, how was your week? How are you feeling? What's going on with you? Feel free to jump in here. Um, so yeah, I think it's gonna be I mean, it's always good, right? It's like whenever this happens, it's the universe being like, and it's time to stop. Like the timeline that you were on, the things that you were doing, everything that you had planned, like we're gonna put a dead stop in it and we're gonna be like, going this way now. And so I've been experiencing it as like I broke my leg, but as a break, like a literal break from the timeline that I was on, which is just fascinating to me that the universe is like watching you, being like, uh huh, uh huh. Oh, okay, you're going to keep going in that direction? Yeah, we need you to go the other way. You're not going to go the other way? Okay. Well, unfortunately, we need to intervene. And the bad news is we're going to break your leg. The good news is it's going to get you on your new timeline and then everything will be better. So it's like a literal break and a metaphorical break at the same time. Anthony says they invented that wheelchair 40 years ago. Okay, I'm looking it up. I've never seen that anywhere, but I don't work in healthcare, so maybe that's like a thing that's more hospitals than anything else. Um, yeah, I'm on a list and hopefully they call. I mean, the hardest part about being in bed all day is all my stuffed animals that are like my back support. And just as the day goes on, like I just end up sliding out. It's hard to like keep a grip. Um so I'm just constantly like readjusting my well, he's not a bear. He's a sloth and his name is Sully. That's this guy right here. Um, but it's just things you don't think about when you're like, "Oh, be in bed forever." You're like, "Oh, it's not as easy to be in bed forever as you would think." So, yeah, but I got this guy. Isn't that magical? Ooh. And I can just sit and stare at this and just be happy. It's called a twinkle tree. Ah. And you can like move the branches around until it gets to be the thing you want. Yes, Susan, now you get to focus on your coaching business. Absolutely. As soon as is like the pain and the sleep gets a little more manageable, I will have much more energy for my coaching business. And I'm very excited about that because it's something I can still do from my bed. And I have actually been taking appointments with clients in the bed. And I'm like, I am in the bed. Let's move on to your problem. Susan says, beautiful. Uh, Susan says, can you put a bolster under the sheets at the end of the bed? Ooh, never thought of that. So the pillows hit that and stop sliding. You guys have solutions. I probably could, Susan. That would never have occurred to me in a million years. Put a bolster under the sheets. Okay, I'm doing that. That's genius. Anthony says, looks like the life tree in the movie Avatar. Does it really? Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I just want one of these, but I want it to be like 8 feet tall. And I want it in my house. And I want it like wrapped with like vines. So I bet you somebody has already invented that and is selling it somewhere. Susan says, do it. Oh, I'm doing it. Here's what I'm thinking. You know how a window is like just a window? And then you know those, it's like you want drapes or whatever for your window. But what if the window was like a floral arch like they do in weddings, but instead of an arch, it's like a square that frames the window, not a square, a rectangle. And then what if that was wrapped with twinkle lights? And then that was like the frame of the window, and then you had the curtain. That'd be cool. just thinking how to make the my immediate environment more magical. That's, like, always my goal. I don't know what it is. I'm always, like, looking of, like, how can I make it, like, feel more like a fairy wonderland? Like, I think that's my aesthetic. Um, which is not practical at all, but I don't think I'm very practical. I think I just like to imagine something like stepping into fairy wonderland. Susan says, "Can't wait to see what you create." Yay! Oh, I will definitely be showing all of that. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Um, because yeah, like everything's changed since they like I don't know what's changed with like shipping, manufacturing, transport. I don't know what it is, but like things are cheaper now. Like you can order this stuff online, these like fake floral arrangements or whatever, and it's like 20 bucks. Um and I just love that you can be like, bring it to me. Bring it. Deliver it to my house so I can make my house a fairy wonderland, please. Right now. Oh man. Um yeah, and I wonder if there's like a connection between um again, seeing that in the environment and then being more receptive and more open to the magic in the world. Like if you just had a lot of magical looking kind of environment, would you feel a little more receptive to it in real life? I think maybe that's why I like it. Susan says, "Have you checked out Amazon Haul?" What is that? No, how do you know everything? I'm Googling that. What is Amazon Haul? Is that where people it's like returns that Amazon doesn't want anymore and they're trying to sell the returns? I don't even know. It's Happy? Uh Amazon Haul is Amazon's dedicated section for ultra affordable trending products, $20 or less in fashion, home, and beauty. Oh, it's huh, okay. I did not know that existed. Low cost items. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna see how many fairy lights they have on there, and I'm gonna see if I can order a bulk order and if I can like cover this room in fairy lights and flowers. That's gonna be that's gonna be my new mission now that I'm making such good progress on my coloring wall. Do you guys want to see the coloring wall? Let me see if I can move you around. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, Susan says happy was for how you feel about decor. Oh yeah. Oh no, like just magic. Okay, let's see if you guys can see this. This way. There we go. That's how many I have right now. Ooh, there you go. So we have two unicorns and we have two mermaids. So pretty proud of that. That was a labor of love. Uh Anthony says you can buy a skid of returns. What? A skid like one of those big like like a big bunch of return like a flat of return good. What is that? What do you mean buy a skid of returns? Like you don't know what it is. It's just like whatever a bunch of people returned. This is like Amazon gambling. You're just like I don't know what's going to be in here when I order it. Thank you, Susan. She says nice, so colorful. Thank you. A palette. But like how do you know what it is? Like it's just a palette of random stuff or is it like a palette of like, you know, Twinkle Fairy Lights, or it's a mystery? Oh, yes, many people buy them. Okay, I gotta take notes. You guys have come up with, like, is that how do you buy them? Like, where that is that on Amazon? Like, you just Google skip of Amazon palettes? Hmm. You don't know what's in it. So it's an adventure? It's like it's a mystery box? But isn't it flat like a pallet, like a lot of stuff? Like, what do you do if it's a bunch of stuff and you're like, "I don't really want any of this stuff?" Do you return it? Do you keep the cycle going? Is it like a never-ending cycle of returning things to Amazon? Uh, okay, but how Anthony, how do you buy it? Like, do you go on Amazon and search there's, like, a part of Amazon that's, like, buy a whole pallet, and I just never see that button, or is it some other site? I already found this Amazon haul thing. Oh, people resell it, Susan says. Okay. Okay. So so then you would, yeah, like, I guess then you'd have a bunch of stuff. Somebody wants it, sell what you don't want on eBay. Okay. I mean, that sounds fun to be like that's like Christmas morning, right? Except much more random. Keep what you like, yeah, sell what you don't want on eBay. Okay. Okay. That's I think that'd be fun to try just to see like if there's anything good. Um have you had any luck with that, Anthony? Or Susan? Have you done this before? This is all new to me, but again, it's something I can do from my bed. So, oh, do you go to an Amazon warehouse for this? You don't, this is not something you do online. You go to a warehouse. Hmm. Yeah, they've really figured out. Do you guys remember when Amazon was an online bookstore and everyone was like, that's a dumb idea? That's like, I mean, that's fine, I guess, but it's just books online. Like, where is this going? And Bezos was like, watch me. And I remember when Amazon came out and I was like, that's weird. Blockbuster is really where you should invest your money. Like, so yeah, I don't see the successes coming, put it that way. I struggle with that. Although I can't be the only one, otherwise everyone would have bought Amazon in 1998 and they'd all be cajillionaires by now. Um, yeah. I didn't see the possibilities. This is where you need like a visionary. Like if someone was like, "Hey, Helmy, here's an online bookstore." And I'd be like, "Uh-huh." And then like I wouldn't go that far of like, "Oh, one day we're gonna take over the world." Like selling books online, like walk me through how you got there. But some people just see bigger. Um yeah, so the only downside of well, I was like the only downside of a oh, hang on. Anthony says I know someone that does it. Makes money at it, really? Women's shoes are the best sellers, and I already have a job. Really? Okay, so this is like a business, like upcycle kind of business model. That's cool. Women's shoes are the best sellers. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't know what you're gonna get, and then you get a pair of, I was gonna say like Louboutins, but I don't know if Amazon, I don't know if Amazon sells Louboutins in general in order for them to be returned. They probably don't. Um, Yeah, that's interesting. I love how people have come up with so many jobs now that were never jobs before. Like, people are like, "What are you gonna do for a living?" And they're like, "I'm gonna be a professional video game player." And it's like, that's a job now, you know? Like, when we were in high school, our parents were like, "You can't just sit around and play video games all day. That's not a job." And then somebody was like, Watch me. It is now. Or like, teenage girls are like taking pictures of themselves and your parents are like, "You can't just take pictures of yourself for a living. Like you have to like go out and do something." And they're like, "No, I'm going to be an Instagram model. Watch me." Like they've just invented like 20 new jobs. And I think that's cool. What do you guys think? Which jobs have you bumped into where you're like, "I didn't know that was a job now." Like you're just people are coming up with stuff. Like anyone under 30, you're like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" And they're like, "Oh, I can't even think of an example." But they're not like teacher, doctor, lawyer, engineer. They're like, "Oh, well, I built an app that, teaches dogs to whistle or something. And then I made like $1 billion and then probably sold it to Amazon." And then, you're just like, didn't know that was a job. Or like people who like they just stream themselves all the time and they have like tons of followers and people just like click on it to be like, I'm hanging out with this person. Okay, jobs that we didn't know were jobs. Let's hear it. Susan says dog poop picker upper for people who don't want to clean their own backyards. That's a job now? Wow. Didn't know that was a job. Didn't know that. Also, backbreaking labor. I used to pick up after the winter and you go out in the spring and you're like, "Oh my God, this is backbreaking." Wade says, "I'm glad you are sharing your recovery journey." Yay! Thank you, Wade. I'm pretty sure this was all your idea. Didn't you leave a comment saying I should share it? And then I was like, "Huh, never thought of that." Well, Wade says I should share it. I'm gonna share it. And I've been putting up some videos. Um, yeah, thank you for watching it, Wade. Thanks for being interested. It's quite a shift to go from roller skating 6 hours a week and walking my dog an hour a day and, running around all day long to just being like, "Ooh, I just live in this bed now." Um, Dog poop picker upper. Think about how enterprising that is, because we know, like, okay, mow the lawn, right? Babysitting. But somebody was like, "I can take care of that mess for you." Like, and everybody has a dog now, so it's like a thing. Actually wrote my master's thesis on the evolution of modern pet ownership in Canada after World War II. So of course I had to call it the rough life, RUFF. And and it's basically like on the emergence of modern pet ownership. Like how did animals go from like working animals to pets? And there's a whole industry, and it's like a multi-billion, probably trillion-dollar industry now of what is associated with the dogs becoming consumers. And dog poop picker-upper is a tertiary industry associated with it. Like, there's people who are making money because people are like, "I want a dog in the house," um and yeah, Susan's like, "There's a constant amount of that mess." Exactly, you're never gonna run out of work. The dogs will keep pooping. Wade says you will get back to those things soon. Thank you, Wade. Yes, I am not even entertaining for a moment the the concept that maybe I'm not gonna skate or maybe I'm not gonna recover or maybe I'm not gonna learn to walk again. Like, no, 100% this is happening. Um, ooh, Anthony says Christmas light installers. Do you know what? I was walking down the street last Christmas and walked past a neighbor's house and I stopped and I was like, huh, that looks suspiciously symmetrical. Like, like it looked like some sort of golden ratio type of stuff. And I was like, how? How is it so perfect? And then I asked my neighbor later and they're like, oh yeah, we paid professionals. And I'm like, were they out there with protractors? Like, how did they get every little thing perfectly symmetrically aligned with every other little thing and have it look that perfect? And I bet you it's like a whole art form. Christmas light installers, yeah. And you know what? I'm too lazy well, right now, I'm not lazy, right now I'm broken, but I'm normally too lazy to put up Christmas tree lights, and I would totally but I love the look of them, and I would totally pay somebody to do it, now that you mention it. So, like, yeah, that is a job. That's amazing. I met a guy at the gym a couple years ago who was a professional video game streamer, which is not the same as a professional video game player, I soon learned. And he made $10,000 a month just turning the camera on for 10 hours a day and playing video games of whatever people wanted to watch him play and just streaming himself playing. And he said that I should do it and that I would make a lot of money. And I was like, I don't like playing video games. So that's the first problem. Uh, but yeah, like I couldn't believe that that was a job. He's like, I make so much money, I don't know what to do with it. He's like, I just give a bunch to charity all the time. And I'm like, how old are you? And he's like, 22. And I like dropped out of university to do this because it's like so profitable. And I'm just like, nobody was offering me 10 grand when I was 22. Like I didn't even know that was a job. Susan says, have you seen the videos with the Christmas laser shows people put on their homes? Maybe. I'm just making a bunch of tabs of things to Google after this call. Christmas laser show. I think they've like evolved a lot of their laser tech in the last uh 10 years, and I am definitely not in the loop, oops, on it. But that would be cool. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should sit here and feel because I can't go out and look at all the lights. That's one of my favorite things to do this time of year is to walk around and like take in all the decorations, but I could go on YouTube and look at them. Didn't think of that. That's awesome. Thank you, Susan. I'm gonna give myself some Christmas cheer by popping up like other people's streets. That there's a street near my house that in my neighborhood where every single person on the street, there's like 127 houses, and every single person went to Costco and bought the giant inflatable Santas. Like, every single person. So you go do this drive down this street, and it's just giant Santa in a variety of different positions, in a variety of different contexts, just massive, massive Santa street. And I thought that was so fun in terms of, like, cooperation of, like, how did you get 127 people to all agree to go spend, like, 500 bucks on one of those inflatable Santas? And I'm just picturing, like, who did that pitch? Like, who's going door to door, being like, "Okay, listen, we're all gonna get Santas. You need to get one too." And then the one person's like, "Oh, I don't know, I'll think about it." And they're like, "No, no, no, we all have to do it together." Like, that is so much cooperation. Anthony says, "A Christmas tree in your room with lots of light would make you happier." That would make me so happy, Anthony. Like, ugh, that would be a Christmas miracle. There's a street in Toronto did that. It's in a rich neighborhood. Yeah, mine is not in a rich well, maybe it's like maybe it's above average neighborhood. But yeah, like it's that much cooperation. Like for me, my favorite example of cooperation is a four-way stop. I love four-way stops because I love that it's like the one time in our culture where every total strangers like stop and agree to cooperate. Um, and all of the Santas, it seems to me like a giant four-way stop. Susan says someone probably bought an Amazon pallet of inflatable Santas. Bringing it back around. There you go. You know what? That's amazing. That's pretty good. Yeah, I bet they did. I bet they did. Um, Oh my god, wouldn't it be amazing if some kid was, like, enterprising and they got somebody's parent bought the pallet and it was all inflatable Santas, and then the kids go door to door being like, "Listen, I can get you a deal on the inflatable Santa," right? And they charge double what they got it for. That would be enterprising. See, that's another job, selling inflatable Santas. Didn't know that was a job. You can just do anything you want now. If you need money, you don't have to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and get another degree and do more." Like, you can just be like, "What kind of money do I wanna make? What do I wanna do while making it?" Like, there's people that just put themselves on YouTube to eat their lunch, and they don't say anything, and then they just eat lunch, and that's like it's like a job. They just film themselves having a meal. I didn't I didn't know that was a job either. So I think, yeah, the universe is basically saying you can do whatever. Um, which is kind of fun because it just opens up so many possibilities. Yeah. The one downside though of having a broken leg, besides the leg being broken, is that I don't have the stamina that I used to have. I get tired easily. I think it's also because 'cause I'm not sleeping very much. And I have trouble, uh, like, kinda lasting as long as I would, like, in a conversation, which is not is not my personality, so it's hard for me. And so normally I do a live for an hour, but I think I might be calling it, around now because this is about 45-minute mark, and I'm getting to the end of my stamina for today, but I'm so glad, to chat with you guys. Yeah, Susan says all the energy is going to your ankle. Yeah, it is, and I'm sending it there. I am sending all my healing energy there. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna call it tonight, folks, but thank you so much for showing up. It was a pleasure as always, and, yeah, hopefully by next week, um I'll be feeling quite a bit better. I'll have my new cast and, uh, and I'm hoping to get it decorated. So I'll be showing you guys that. Okay, thank you so much for showing up tonight. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Anthony, and I will see you guys next week. Take care.